Picture Monday morning. Trains are full, coffee shops are busy, and millions are heading to work. Then, at 9 o'clock, half the work badges stop opening doors. Not because the companies failed. An AI system can now do those jobs faster, cheaper, and well enough. Would society collapse? Or could life become better? Let's walk through the first year. First, one important rule. This is a stress test, not a prediction. In our thought experiment, AI and AI-directed machines remove half of today's paid jobs in 12 months. Real research does not say half of all jobs are about to vanish. The International Labor Organization says 1 in 4 workers has some exposure to generative AI, but most exposed jobs are more likely to change than disappear. Exposure is not elimination. Still, disruption would start quickly. Companies would freeze hiring before mass layoffs. Customer support, scheduling, bookkeeping, document review, routine design, basic coding, and simple analysis would face the first pressure. But cuts would not stop at office doors. AI-directed warehouses, delivery systems, and checkouts would remove physical roles too. Every industry would ask, which tasks still require a person? Here is where the story gets strange. Production might rise. One large study of customer support agents found that a generative AI assistant raised productivity by 14% on average and 34% for newer and lower-skilled workers. Imagine that spreading across the economy. Reports are written, orders routed, and customers served. Production continues. But millions of former workers no longer receive a paycheck. That creates the real emergency. Not a shortage of goods, but income. A family can see cheaper services and still be unable to pay rent. Within weeks, households cancel trips, delay repairs, and cut optional purchases. Restaurants lose tables. Shops lose customers. Freelancers lose clients. Those businesses may use little AI, yet they lay people off because demand has disappeared. Automation creates the first wave. Falling spending creates the second. Financial markets could send a confusing signal. Companies with lower costs might report record profits. Share prices could rise with unemployment. Owners of models, computing, data, and automated businesses would collect a larger share of the economy. Governments would receive less tax, just as unemployment support, retraining, and housing help become more expensive. The economy could look efficient on a spreadsheet and brutal on a street. Who keeps working? Start with the physical world and human trust. Nurses, caregivers, electricians, plumbers, construction crews, emergency responders, teachers, negotiators, and leaders with legal responsibility. AI could change every job, but doing a task is not owning the consequences. A robot may spot a warning. A nurse still calms the patient, notices what the sensor missed, and acts when the situation changes. No list is safe forever. Better robotics could reach warehouses, kitchens, hospitals, and construction sites. Even when a job survives, it may need fewer people. A teacher with an AI tutor supports more students. An engineer finishes more projects. That is productive, but in our scenario, the saving becomes unemployment unless demand grows or working time is shared. Then comes a quieter problem, the missing first rung. If AI handles notes, simple code, draft contracts, and junior analysis, how does a beginner become an expert? Companies cannot hire only seniors forever. They need apprenticeships where people supervise AI, test output, work with customers, and learn judgment. Otherwise, today's efficiency creates tomorrow's shortage of experienced humans. The International Monetary Fund estimates that almost 40% of global employment is exposed to AI, rising to about 60% in advanced economies. Exposed does not mean erased. For some workers, AI is an assistant. For others, it competes with what they sell. That could widen gaps between countries, cities, age groups, and education levels. The same tool can produce very different outcomes. By month 3, political pressure is enormous. One option is faster retraining, but for real vacancies, not certificates for jobs that do not exist. Wage insurance can temporarily help someone returning at lower pay. Portable benefits can follow people between employers and gig work. Stronger unemployment systems can stop a transition becoming a housing crisis. These policies do not create work. They buy time and contain the second wave. There's a more direct idea. Share the productivity. If the economy produces more with fewer hours, the workweek could shrink. Companies might divide one 40-hour position into two shorter schedules or move toward 4-day weeks. People keep income, businesses keep experience, and part of the gain arrives as time. Cash transfers, a negative income tax, or universal basic income would separate a basic floor from a traditional job. Every choice has costs and trade-offs. New work would appear. AI systems need integration, testing, security, auditing, maintenance, and human accountability. Cheaper intelligence could expand education, preventive care, research, small business services, and climate technology. The World Economic Forum's 2025 employer survey projected 92 million jobs displaced by major trends by 2030, but 170 million created. That is not a guarantee or AI alone. It reveals the timing problem. New jobs can exist while displaced people have the wrong training today. 5 years later, this world splits in two directions. In the darker version, a small group owns the systems, wages stay weak, and public anger grows. In the better version, competition lowers prices, ownership is broader, workers use AI instead of racing against it, and productivity funds shorter hours, public services, and a stable income floor. Technology can support either path. It does not choose. So what if AI replaced half of all jobs? Half of all people would not become useless. A job is a bundle of tasks. A person is far more than that bundle. The danger is allowing production and income to separate without a bridge. If AI creates abundance, the defining question is not, can the machine do the work? It is, who receives the value, and how quickly can everyone else build a new role?